and then do loads of shit in 2020, and then that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah. No, I'm still fighting the world.
Yeah.
In general.
The eye patch is off, though.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
Well.
Sort of. Maybe it's in your world. Maybe it's not.
No, it wasn't a big ordeal. It was just a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, so you said this was your idea that I should go see a doctor. And I said, well, I've already got eye drops, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so tense. No, yeah, so what happened was, originally got the eye infection, and it started to get worse. So I went to a pharmacist, and they said, here, take these antibiotic eye drops. Mm-hmm. And then after 2 to 5 days, go see a doctor if it hasn't improved.
Okay.
Did the podcast within that time. I had one eye that was dodgy.
Yeah.
Eventually, it just leaked into the other eye. Because if you lay down, then gravity decides to screw your entire world.
Were they connected? Like, yes.
My eyes.
Is it part? Well, as in, like, is it sort of? Does it travel through your sinuses? Can it just infect the other eye like that?
Apparently, the most common one is just like all the pus just leaks over and goes into your other eye when you're sleeping.
Oh, right.
Or you rub one eye and then rub the other one. Right. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I woke up one day, about 5 days after I'd started taking these antibiotics, and my other eye was infected, and it was getting worse. I was like, right, I'm going to go to a doctor. Mm-hmm. Phone my doctor. He said, well, 3 weeks. I said, well, that's fucked. And he said, well, there's this walk-in clinic. I said, oh, okay, I'll go to that then.
In Hanley?
No, this one is near me, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I went in there, and typical walk-in... I mean, this was like 9 p.m. on a Friday night. I think was when I went. And, got there, and it was pretty busy, and it's a walk-in clinic, and I'm not one of these people that are like, the NHS is incredible, or the NHS is bad. Again, I'm very much of the camp of, it's good, but if it wasn't, and I'm grateful that it's there.
Yeah.
But I don't really care. But I appreciate what's going on. But so I was waiting for around 2 hours, which is fine for me. It's like, one, it's non-emergency. I'm just kind of seeing if there's a better thing.
Yeah.
I can edit the podcast in the waiting room.
If you were carrying your own leg, they might see you sooner. I
mean, I've had more emergency situations and it's been a longer wait. But I've never, people always go, oh, you could be seen immediately. It's like, yeah, but how fucking important are you?
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of people here. There's people who've been waiting longer than you have. And it's not like they're just like not letting people in.
Yeah,
it's just like, no, there's a system that's just going through.
That's why people pay private, so they can be seen straight away. Like, it's fine. For the rest of us, we have to queue. It's like getting a fast pass at Alton Towers.
Yeah, except with life.
Yeah, but not like life-threatening shit.
Yeah. But they're just like, emergency, you need to be seen right away. I'm like, I've never really bothered wait. It's not a great waiting around, don't get me wrong, but it's understandable. You go like, well, it's either this or I go to medical school for 6 years. I think I'll just chill here.
Yeah. 6 years is longer than 2 hours. Basic maths.
Right, so this woman there's 2 phases of it. They have to do triage, which is a very dramatic term, which is just they need to see if, you're okay enough to wait, basically. But the woman who came out, she was such a... didn't give a fuck about her job.
Okay.
Which I don't mind, but it was just as well... I don't know, she came out, she went, Mr. Snip! Mr. Snap! Snipe! Snip! And I'm walking towards... As soon as she said Mr. Snip, I get up and I'm walking directly towards her.
Yeah.
And she's just doing everything to avert my gaze. So she's just like, oh, maybe I've got the name. Maybe this guy is walking towards me isn't the person that I've summoned. Yeah. I'll just call out different names.
Well, no, that's Mr. Snipe. Mr. Snip who's gone for a piss.
Oh, it's a snap.
Someone's jumped the queue.
So we're all just shouting names. And eventually I just have to say, and because I found it a little bit irritating, just a bit of an angry gorilla demon came out. So I just yelled in response, like, I'm coming! So like, just to give her a... Which, there's kids in the waiting room, but they're just a bit like, what the... And I've already got eyes the colour of demons. I've got Damien eyes. It's like, I'm ready to get better. So we go to triage, right? And she just doesn't give a fuck. Which again, isn't a bad thing. I'm just like, it's fair enough. But in terms of customer service, I just get a little bit peeved at that kind of thing. I don't know why sometimes. But she said, all right, so what's the problem? I said, well, my eyes. Is there any pus coming from them? Like, yeah. Well, there's not any more now, is there? Well, yeah, because I've just wiped... I don't keep the pus,
Yeah.
for you. It's just I've been doing it. But trust me, there's pus. It's yellow. I wore an eye patch. It's yellow when I wake up. That's pus, right?
Yeah.
I understand that. You went, oh yeah, all right. You want any medication? Go through the whole jazz. Get out my eye drops and say I'm also taking this. She picks it up, reads it, and goes, yeah, you won't need that. Okay. So, okay, cool, no worries. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to figure this out. Does some time. He says, all right, you go back in the waiting room and wait. It's 2 hours. I'm editing the podcast and just kind of trying to be comfortable. Going to the doctor's, same routine again. And she's like, yeah, oh, you should take antihistamines. I was like, why should I take antihistamines? I said, oh, because it could be an allergic reaction. Yeah, but it's not, is it? Just to give you some more information, It's not an allergic reaction. I've had allergic reactions. I know what this is like. Yeah, but it'll stop the itching. So, yeah, just because it itches doesn't mean I itch it. The world's been trying to destroy me for years through my eyes. So just hay fever and allergies and stuff like that. So I know what that's like, and that's not what this is. But hey, if you say it will help, okay, brilliant, fair enough. She also says, right, we need to get in some eye drops. Said, oh, brilliant, I'm on these eye drops at the moment. Pick them out. So she gives it a read. She goes, oh, yeah, you won't need these.
Right.
I go, okay, fair enough. That's what I'm here for. Writes me a prescription. She says, you need to have 2 different bottles of eye drops, one for each eye, in case of contamination.
Oh,
which kind of makes sense, but absolutely does not make sense at the same time.
because you don't make any contact.
No, you don't shove it in your eye.
Yeah. Well, you don't take the drop from one eye and rub it on the other one.
Yeah. It's like you're dropping it from a height. Like, should I get different heights? Just drop contamination. But it was like, oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, fine. Everything's great. Go to a 24-hour chemist. They don't have it, but they do have a giant crate of Viagra. Which I just found funny, which I don't social media that much anyway, but this caught my eye. I walk into the chemist, 24-hour chemist. What are they going to sell? A giant crate of Viagra in the window.
Yeah.
They've got everything else. They've got sepsis protection and antibacterials, and then they've got Viagra. I just thought that was great window shot.
Yeah.
Window display.
It's become more prominent now. Like all the Boots advertisements are for Viagra now.
Yeah, the whole thing of you might end up in hospital with a permanent 6-hour erection or something is kind of faded away, isn't it? But it's become more of the norm. But then I guess lots of sexual aids have kind of come upon more of the norm.
Yeah.
Do you remember Spanish Fly?
It's one of those things I've heard of, but I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah, it was just apparently, I only knew it from references in TV shows and sketch shows and stuff like that. But it was just like a female Viagra that you could easily slip into someone's drink. Oh. This was when the Cosby Show was running. But it was...
Yeah.
So, it's always been around and kind of been fine. But, now it's just front and centre and all that kind of stuff. But, when they didn't have it, went to another one. They didn't have it, went to the other one. They finally go, right, okay. We got it for you. We'll just set it up for you. They bring it out, and it's the exact same drops. Which I wouldn't mind... Right, because it's fine, it's whatever. But the fact that I showed her these drops, and I've missed out a bit. I told her that I've been taking them for 5 days, and you should only take these drops for 5 days.
Yeah,
and then you should consult a doctor.
Yeah.
So I took them for 5 days, consulted a doctor, and they said, "Fuck you, go take them again." So it's like, just fine.
Well, you had 2 people there tell you won't need them.
Yeah. And then it's just the exact same one. I'm like, well, this is a mistake. Look at the prescription, and it's just the medical term for these exact drops.
Oh.
And it was just like, I can understand it, but if you're going to tell me to fuck off, can you please do it in a more entertaining way? At least something that has some kind of conclusion to a story instead of just fading into nothingness. And that's what customer service is, really pisses me off. That's all it is. That's all that was.
Oh.
But feeling better now.
Good.
So not much of a punchline, but I thought I'd explore it. See what happened. Same deal with my car. I had no car today. Exact same deal. I go in with an exact diagnosis with an exact solution, and they say, all right, we fixed it, and they don't. Yep. It's like,
they just give you some eye drops.
I'm going away, and I just feel like I'm just being, not ignored, but just you need, not that you need to be better at your job, but just you've failed me in this situation.
Yeah.
It's probably best, the whole medical stuff and all these NHS stuff isn't for the individual, it's for just the majority of people. So that the majority of people have got great stuff. And it's you can't have everyone top of the game all the time.
No.
But if I gave someone the very thing that they were trying to prescribe me, I wish something would have clicked. because it would have saved me 2 hours.
Yeah, there is
2
that.
hours in the doctors and then an hour or two finding 24-hour chemist places.
Yeah.
So it's just like, could have been avoided, but it's fine. I'm just going to... The advice was continue taking the drops indirectly, I guess. This gave me more of them.
So you carried on taking them, and it's fine.
Yeah. That was just like the worst of it, and then it started to get better after then. Like, I got as infected as necessary. And then my body went, all right, fine. I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And then kind of do that.
Yeah.
So how's your week been?
Did
you get infected?
No infections. No, week off work this week, so just very little.
Typical procrastination style. I've got all this free time to do all these things. I'm gonna do nothing.
I've been doing my own stuff, but the time I'd spend, like I've just kind of, I don't know, just vegging out, slowly descending into alcoholism. It's been alright. It's been a nice, quiet week.
Oh, it's been nice.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. I mentioned before about big 2020 plans that try and be more productive and do more things, but it's going to result in more violence.
Probably.
Because I've said before, if I start to get into the gym again, I think that's it. The demons are going to take over again. And I'm going to have to start just expelling those demons more. And that will propel me to greatness.
Yeah.
But it will also destroy some things, I think. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I did go somewhere fucking weird this week.
Yep.
So my wife had this like charity market thing to do in London.
Oh, right, okay.
I think. But it's one of the first kind of modern corporate places I've been into, and it's fucking strange. Like we walked. As soon as we walked in, there's loads of desks with screens all pinned up on them, and they're all empty. Like there's like one, maybe two people sitting at this room full of desks. And then we carry on through, and we end up in this cafeteria, like really nice modern lighting and everything like that. And all the workers are just milling around in there, like on their laptops, sending emails to each other and chatting and just wandering about. Like, and it's not like, oh, this is breakfast time. Like we got there at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like
this working mobile.
I guess so, yeah. So it turned out those desks were like apparently mobile stations. So everyone has a laptop, and when you want to go work at the desk, you just go sit down and plug your laptop into it, and then you use the screens that are on there. But it was just so fucking weird. Like everybody there looked like a model. Like they hired these very specific kind of people, just very pretty people.
Yeah,
it was, and just because of the situation of them all just being really cliquey and just wandering about in their own little groups and just aimlessly wandering up and down the hallways on WhatsApp. It was like being in fucking high school again. It's really strange, except it was a high school full of just popular people. Like right. it's just such an odd experience. So I texted my mate because like she's had a bunch of these jobs. I was like, I'm at this place, and this place is fucking weird. And she was like, yeah, welcome to every corporate job in London. Apparently it's all turning into fucking Google headquarters now. Like that whole let's all sit on beanbags and not do work, I guess.
Well, we get it in loads of companies as well, because I've worked in even when I was working in different restaurants, they were trying to be like that. Like I said, I worked in burger places that like, oh, this one's got Cheerios on it, and we're gonna have a Disney theme, like a dark Disney, and it's gonna be different. There's like people walking around with like headsets from the 80s, just going, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's just like, can you just relax? I mean, I was not in touch with that world, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like these people, like these people trying to be hip and trendy and up to date. I mean, you've said that you haven't worked on a laptop. You struggle to work on a laptop.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I jump in between depending on my mood because I work on both.
I don't mind writing, like writing and stuff on a laptop is fine. I don't think I could get used to editing on one.
Yeah,
it's just what I've gotten used to.
It depends. Well, yeah, I'm obviously used to editing on the laptop because that's kind of the only thing I've used to edit, really.
Loads of people do it. Because they like to sit in cafes and do their shit, whereas I like to have...
Or hospital waiting rooms.
I like... Yeah. Think different. Yeah. I like to have, like, this, like, my set kind of atmosphere where I can control everything and it just puts me in the right the right
As long
space.
as the wall's the right colour.
Yeah, and I can change the colour now.
I want green.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And the other thing is it's just like new industries, I guess. All right, I couldn't get through job interviews of a lot of sales jobs because one time I didn't want to wear a tie, and they lost their fucking minds.
Oh, no,
May have changed now with like.
None of them were in like formal dress or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're all in like smart casual stuff.
Yeah, but they probably weren't in sales.
Turned up jeans, which I just
Turned up.
Just buy shorter jeans. What's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, it's a different atmosphere. It's got to change, isn't it? Things are gonna have to evolve in some way.
No.
Stay the same. Stay on coal. Just want coal, and I'll be fine.
I find what works for you and for the attitude of your company, but I think the thing that bothered me most was just the fact that all these people were just so very similar, and it's there wasn't a single overweight person. There wasn't anyone that I would say that person is not attractive.
It's a real thing as well. I've worked at restaurants as well that only employ attractive people, and me.
It's just weird because it was so blatant.
Yeah.
But it's just this is just.
But it changes the environment as well. It's really weird because I worked at one restaurant that exclusively attracted either the elderly or attractive people.
Yeah,
and senior people they hired. Sorry, and. Yeah, it was just a surreal environment. Everyone was a bit happier.
Yeah.
I think because if you're around old people and you know they're going to die, it just brings you a bit of joy. You're just like, any moment now.
Yeah.
Someone's going to slip or drop something.
Yeah.
And just being, some around conventionally attractive people. Not attractive to me. Because I'm different. I'm special. I like what's on the inside. I don't like it when people say that, but it's a definite fact of life for me that it's just like conventionally attractive people. Sometimes I find horrendously sickening.
Yeah, true.
Got hit in the head by a bus as a kid or something.
I'm not one that touts for all of this. Oh, be body positive. It's okay to be fucking massive like people. I think it's stupid to try and make an argument that it's not pleasant to look at someone who's attractive. I just.
But you just go. Well, the point is meant to be that the physical attractiveness is only really a base level for getting to know somebody.
It is,
and then everything else should grow over.
It's still the first thing biologically that you'll notice about a person.
There's other ones as well. Like people's voice is a big thing.
Yeah,
I think smell's probably stronger, but more subdued.
But you can be attracted to someone from across the room. Like from there, once you get
attracted
to them,
to someone in the dark.
Blind people, that's all they've got.
Yeah, you're saying they don't love. You hate the blind.
Yeah.
It's so. Yeah, I think the being around conventionally attractive, just happier people, because a lot of people
they all did seem very happy.
Because people are usually unhappy about their appearance for reasons beyond everyone's control. Like, that brings a certain negativity of their own emotion around you. And if you're just around people who are happy with themselves, it's going to change the environment. So it could have just been something as simple as that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird way. It's always been a weird way to run a business. I mean, I saw a post for 2020, start doing stand-up again. I saw a post for so they wanted an act. It said you need to have done at least 150 gigs. And you're like, I understand what you're saying. I understand that you need someone experienced. I'm not saying that I should have had this role, but that's a weird number to just put up there.
Yeah,
and just be like, 149. No, that's not good enough. But 150, you're good. Can't you base it off of the performance?
Yeah,
and it's just
I was in a band for 5 years, and we not to blow your own trumpet or anything, but we were pretty good. But I don't think we did 150 gigs.
Yeah,
over 5 years.
Didn't even reach your pivot then. Your pivot
peak.
There you go.
Peak.
If you hit 150, maybe you would have got a trumpeter, and you'll be able to do stuff. Yeah, but it's a weirdest thing that people put on there. They'll only work if this. And there is, I know, again, people in London companies who've got quotas on stuff like how many of what gender they need.
Oh, yeah. There's gender and race and
all that
All
stuff.
of that.
But the only one I've known of like completely truthfully is they need, we can't hire any more men this month.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just seems strange to me. Because you just go, is your intention to make money? Yeah. Then why don't you hire the person who's going to make you the most money?
That's the thing. Like, do you need to fill this role? So why don't you just get the best person for the job?
But then I guess you got to think of like, the cost of being accused of being misogynistic or racist. They've got that's a cost.
Yeah.
We need to insure for or whatever.
Well, I know there's
just a
companies
weird
that get around it by just doing everything blind. So like they'll ask you to submit applications, but you don't include your name or your gender.
Was that Jon
Or
Stewart?
anything.
I think Jon Stewart did that with
I don't
writing
know.
for The Daily Show. Was it The
No,
Daily
I was
Show?
on about stuff over here.
Yeah, he did a thing where like we were hiring writing staff.
Yeah.
And he did it all blind.
Yeah.
And accidentally hired all male.
Right.
And
well, but then
they felt bad about it, so I don't know what the consequences of it were, but there was embarrassment about it. It's like
Why
either
though?
it's incredibly important or it's not incredibly important.
Yeah.
Just choose one.
Yeah.
Just do one and then don't do it. But I'm thinking more and more. I had a better thought about this before. Oh, we haven't spoken about Prince Andrew, right? Do you know Prince Andrew?
I know of him. Yeah.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, and an interview.
Yeah.
He was accused of raping a kid.
Yeah.
Raping multiple kids.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been investigated for it.
Not yet. No, because it's got to be done by the FBI. In order for them to do it, I believe he's got to go over there.
Oh, they can't do it via Skype.
Well, no. So I think the last thing, I might be wrong on this. I think he said he's willing to go over, and the rest of the royal family were like, "Don't do that.
You're a child rapist. You're 100% guilty. Don't do this." I was being
And the Queen cancelled his birthday party.
No more birthdays for the child rapist.
That was the thing that the BBC reported.
Oh, really?
The Queen cancelled Prince Andrew's birthday party.
Well, I was speaking to people and they were saying, no, because he's got diplomatic immunity. He's a member of the royal family. They can't prosecute him. And I was just thinking about it. I was just like, diplomatic immunity doesn't mean you can't break the law and be punished for it. Oh, yes, it does. You don't know. It's like, no. Prince Andrew can't go over there and murder 30 Chinese babies. And then the arresting officer comes and goes, you can't. I can kill you as well. So he's just killing everybody. That's not how
because
it works.
then diplomats would just be terrors.
Yeah,
like
they could
just do anything.
They could just walk into a bank, demand all the money and leave.
Yeah. Well, that's not very diplomatic.
Diplomat. Well, now we've got all your money, so what are you going to do? Diplomacy 1-0 or whatever it is. But yeah, it's just it just means that if you got diplomatic immunity, it means the embassy probably has to decide for you or advise you.
They have to okay something.
Yeah, and so him not being prosecuted is, as you say, the royal family saying, no, don't. So that means they're okay with a child rapist as this like wandering around.
Yeah.
Like they cut his salary, yeah, but he's still a prince.
They cut his salary. He's got like land. He
lives in his, I think the property he lives in, I don't know where he lives, but he lives in a fucking Windsor Castle or something. You're like, oh yeah, no, he's fine. He's a child rapist, but he's not got pocket money anymore.
No.
And admittedly, it's more pocket money than money. Well, so there's like 3, I think, main parts of the Prince Andrew interview.
Okay.
That like
I didn't watch the interview.
No.
Like,
it was
because it was like 40 minutes. I started, but I was at work. I was like, I thought it was just going to be clips.
I was bored as fuck.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes I was bored. The second 2 minutes I was bored. I had to watch it like 4 times. But there's a few different points of excuses he gives. One thing said, did you rape this kid? He's like, no. Oh, yeah, and I'm going to paraphrase, right? But the interviewer basically says, did you rape this kid at 10 p.m? And he says, no, because I was in Woking at 4 p.m.
Right.
All right, then. No, it was a Pizza Express. Oh, okay. So did you rape her in the evening then? No, because I was in the afternoon. I was in Woking. And that means that I wasn't raping that kid at 10 p.m. Because I was with my kids, and I would have been with my kids. I don't remember the evening, but I remember Woking by Pizza Express. And he goes, the reason I know that is because I'm a prince.
Right.
And I don't usually go to Pizza Express in Woking. So it was very memorable.
Okay.
So people love that one. I wasn't really that bothered about that one, apart from the time frame of it all.
Yeah.
But when she said, all right, so this woman that you said you didn't rape, do you remember her? He goes, no, I don't remember. I never met her in my life. He goes, oh, okay, well, there's a photo of you. He's like, oh, no, that photo's, well, it doesn't exist. Well, it does. It's right there. No. Yes, Photoshop, probably. Is it Photoshop? I don't know. It could be. This is a weird, you're debating a weird side of this you raped her argument. Yeah. Did you rape her? Well, I didn't take that photo with her. Yeah, but did you rape her? No, that
it's
photo
so stupid.
is impossible.
There's footage of him, like, standing in Jeffrey Epstein's doorway, just waving at people.
Yeah. Well, this is my whole thing, right? He's a public figure. He'll take photos with people all the time. It's not a crime for him to take a photo with a 17-year-old.
No, not at all.
But him defending it so angrily is like, no, because then that proves I didn't rape her. It's like, no, you're obviously paranoid about being discovered about something.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're reading into this, you moron.
Yeah, you'd just be like, yeah, I took a photo with a girl. She asked for a photo.
It was in Epstein's house. Yeah, at the time, Epstein wasn't a convicted sex criminal.
Yeah.
And I was over there on business.
Yeah.
And he had people around. They wanted a photo with the prince. Photo with a prince.
It's just, that's the thing. It's so easy to just, like, navigate that bit.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't you do this? But I was listening to Rogan today, and they said apparently he's got autism.
Oh, maybe.
Or some form of autism.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned that. But my favourite part was they said, right, so this photo that you think is doctored. Okay. Well, the victim says that she knew you, she met you at this house, she went out for dinner with you, she danced with you, and when she danced with you, you sweated all over her. Right? He said it was a really sweaty dance. And he said, oh, thank God. I can't have raped her because I've got a medical condition where I couldn't sweat that year.
Yeah.
You go, that's insane.
Yeah.
Right? Number one, yes, I've known people who can't, I don't know if they could sweat, but they couldn't produce saliva.
Right.
Which means that they couldn't produce some kind of moisture and, whatever. So it's like, okay, there are people with a condition that will restrict that. Obviously, everything's possible. But then saying the reason that I can't have raped her, the only reason that I can't, the one of three reasons. One, I don't take photos of people. Can't have raped her. Two, Pizza Express. 3, that year, I never sweated. Not once. You're allowed to dance with people, Mr. Andrew. You can do whatever it's fine. You're a public figure. You go to parties. You can eat dinner with people, even if they're 17.
Yeah.
It may not be, the best decision, but it's not illegal to go to dinner with a 17-year-old guest of whoever you're staying with or whatever. And it's just like, no, yeah, well, I was shot at in the Falklands. Yeah, mate. All right, whatever. That meant I couldn't sweat in 2005. Whatever it was.
Right.
It's a fucking moron. But I think it's just, I think in his sorry, this is getting back to a point, because this was just a mini tangent, but there's this whole thing, I think, where people will know the truth and they'll just willingly believe something completely different. Yeah. So he'll know that he I believe he committed these crimes just in the way that he's trying to defend himself in the worst ways possible.
It's a stupid defense. It's not a defense. Now, if it all came out, that all of that, if somehow it came out,
he never
was
sweated.
Absolutely true.
Went to Pizza Express.
Like, he would still be the weirdest man alive.
Yeah, just for how he's handling that situation.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, mate, whatever you say. But he's obviously going through in the same kind of thing I was mentioning before, that I don't think people really give a fuck about suicide because of Love Island. Like, if you go into it, you're statistically way more likely to kill yourself. But still, people go in with an open eyes and they go, oh, yeah, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we can shave our legs. They keep razors in the bathroom. That's not a problem. I imagine they do. They must do, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a willing disbelief. This go through it, and it's the same with that, and it's the same with whatever the original point we were talking about was, which I can't actually remember. Maybe doctors, something about doctors, and you went somewhere. Willing disbelief. So the corporate companies you're working for, you went to go see. They think that what we want is money, but you go like, oh, actually, what we want is, we need 2 more people with blonde hair and 1 with frosted tips. Yeah. And then it'll be fine. This stupid, absolutely defunct human thoughts. Like, all right, whatever you say, you go do that and have fun.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Prince Andrew's kicking back, not sweating. He's like sat in a sauna, confused. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
I'm not sweating it. I can't.
I can't rape you. Sorry, I'm not sweaty enough.
Yeah.
Just fucking ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculousness.
Yeah.
But what do you expect? Like someone was saying, "Oh, this is shocking bad press for the royal family." So, do you know any history? Like, wasn't there one who went through a string of wives by creating his own religion so he could decapitate them?
Oh, yeah.
Henry VIII wasn't exactly the most chilled out guy.
No. No.
I can't remember, but I think Queen Mary of Scots was pretty bad. I genuinely can't remember. I just remember one of the queens after Henry VIII was apparently really horrific. There was an 8-year-old king. I can't remember which one it was. One of Henry VIII's
Was it an
son.
Edward?
Might have
Was
been.
it one of the Edwards?
It's not like a history full of honour and greatness.
No, it's a history full of inbred gluttony.
Yeah. I checked out the inbredness because I said that and they went, who's incestuous in the royal family? And apparently Elizabeth II and her husband, I can't remember, not Charles.
Phil.
Yeah, Philip. I think they were second cousins or something like that. And I thought there was going to be more because that's always been the joke, right? That they're all inbred. And I think in the UK royal family anyway, apparently those two were second cousins and that was kind of it.
Okay.
But I think they live a very incestuous life, very self-contained.
Yeah,
which is
they
kind of the
only
issue.
really know each other. They
Yeah.
don't really let outsiders in. Oh, well, you can either marry this person or this person. All right.
Cheers. Be fine. So yeah, it's just a weird history. It's a weird thing. But it's one of those things where it's like, again, people have this idea that the White House is super protected and the royal family is honourable and great and they'll never have this bad press. It's like, no, just think. Just have a think for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking people are stupid anyway. That means that royal families are going to be stupid in some way.
100%.
And it's just like, yeah, just chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Anyway. Got some news this week. Got a lot of news this week. And for the first time in a while, once I find the actual video segment, we've got one of these.
Oh. Seagull!
Yeah, got a lot of these. You know, science.
I know science.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I just read this the other day. Shaking your head to get water out your ears could be causing you loads of brain damage. Don't do that anymore.
Shit.
Yeah. You know that thing everyone does and kids do loads?
Yeah.
Brain damage all the way.
Oh, shit.
But brain damage isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Not always. Some people get good brain
Get
damage.
a bit of brain damage.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, what about those people that become like savants and they can suddenly play piano and speak 5 languages?
Yeah, they probably just went swimming. Yeah. And then they just came out and did it.
And they came out and like could speak French or whatever.
Apparently it's a lot more prevalent in children because they're smaller. So it's harder to get water out of a small thing than it is a bigger thing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they say other safe fixes is just a bit of just helpful advice. Is just lie down, jiggle your earlobe, or put more liquid in it. I'm not sure about the last one.
No.
But it alters the surface tension in the ear, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they probably should specify what liquid. Put more water in it. Don't put, I don't know, honey in it. I don't think honey would help.
Yeah. You know what I used to do that actually worked every single time, but only while you're in the pool.
Right.
So if one of you got blocked, I'd like straighten my legs and then you just jump. And instead of bracing yourself, you just let your knees take the brunt. So you just like land straight on your heels, and that jolt just always just made the water come out every time. I
guess it's kind of shaking your head, isn't it?
I maybe
straight down.
But shaking my head didn't seem to do it. But that jolt just did it every time. You
sat down. You're like, right, now it's time to be productive and fall asleep or something.
Yeah,
yeah, sounds all great. In other quick-fire happy news, a child has been crushed to death by a falling ice sculpture at a Christmas market.
Oh God.
Lots of dead kids in this episode. Right, this has got a risk of sounding insensitive, but is there anything funnier than seeing a child crushed by ice? There's in the shape of like Happy Merry Christmas. Hey, look, it's Santa. Watch out, Rudolph smashed a child. Pretty horrific.
Well, now his nose is red.
Yeah, a toddler died after being hit by a broken shard from an ice sculpture.
Oh.
They say shard, but they mean it's snapped off of the rest of an ice sculpture. They don't say how big it is. Emergency services arrived quickly and attempted to revive the 2-year-old boy. There's like blew a hairdryer on the ice or something.
God.
That'll help. I don't know.
Jesus.
Crushed by ice.
Where was this?
I think it was in the UK, in Luxembourg.
Okay.
There you go. Christmas market in Luxembourg. Merry Christmas.
Fucking ice sculptors.
Everyone loves a Christmas market, right? Is there anything more pointless than an ice sculpture?
I don't get it. Like, I think it's a really cool skill to have, in as much as just sculpting in general is. Like, I think it definitely takes some talent. Like, I can't draw, so to be able to draw in 3D with a chainsaw, like that's quite cool.
Fighting climate change.
Yeah, but there is something that's like, why ice?
Yeah. Like, it's people love it. That's the thing that I don't understand. People have them like
people that have it at weddings. What is that?
And corporate events.
Yeah.
Was it like vodka fountains or something like that keep
vodka
it cold?
luge.
Yeah.
The vodka luge.
That's from something, isn't it? That's the only thing I know it from. The vodka luge. That was part of a sketch or a scene or something in a film or a comedy show. Something like that.
I don't know. Jack D did a bit about luges, but I don't know about the...
Yeah. Anyway, so that kid got crushed by ice. It's just Merry Christmas. I don't like Christmas markets. I don't like the fake joy people try and inject into their lives.
I enjoy it.
I'm sure you do. But that's there's another 2020 thing that might be coming your way. I don't know.
All right.
I might start, and it's a weird balance. I don't want it. You said before you don't enjoy it when I come in and ridicule your soul, right? You just feel a bit. I'm always like, this is great, right? You're like, oh no, I'd rather you didn't. So I might try and do that. But again, violent things might come out of it.
I've come to expect it.
Yeah, but it's still taken off guard sometimes.
It's being forced into situations where I'm having to defend something that I never thought I'd have to defend.
Coffee pot, whatever it was.
Yeah.
USB cable. What you got that for, you prick? So I might try and stop doing that. But it's that very thing that really, just gets to me in some way. It's the fake joy. And there's nothing more fake joy than half an ice sculpture of a reindeer smashed into a child's face.
That's real joy.
Yeah. And lastly, in the quickfire segment, we promote social media. You ever thought about becoming an influencer of some kind?
No.
No. What do? They just advertise.
I was at a shoot
stuff
a few months back, and there was a girl. It was quite a fashionable place, and there was a girl that showed up because it was like an open night thing, and she introduced herself to me as an influencer, and she was like 17. Right. And I looked at her Instagram, and she had like 100 followers. I was like, "Oh, you're not very influential."
Influence those people.
Like, it's one of those things. It's like, it feels like when I grow up, I want to be Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point in you?
But it's a valid thing. I mean, people who have social media followers.
To be sponsored, essentially.
Yeah. And I've known people with few Instagram followers who have been approached by sponsors of some kind.
It used to be blogging. It used to be like, well, I've made a blog and now people respect my opinion. And I can 100% get behind that because you've got this body of work. Like that says everything we need to know about who you are and why we should trust you. But like, not just be on Instagram and show up at places.
Well, it's just traffic. Same as everything, I guess. It's just web traffic.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if 300,000 people see your image, if they see it with Scooby-Doo in the background, they might buy more Scooby-Doo lunchboxes. So we need to start doing this.
Yeah.
But it's as well as products, they also try to sell a lifestyle, I assume, again, to try and get products associated with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So this influencer is an arsehole sunbather.
What?
She sunbathes her arsehole and says that it brings great, nutrient value and makes her sleep better.
By burning her arsehole?
That's my wording of it, because I'll go through it word for word.
Okay.
An influencer has said that she practices perineum sunning, or butt sunbathing,
Okay.
as it gives her surges of energy and promotes better sleep.
Oh, shut up. Shut up.
I mean, it's on the verge of that's got to be trolling in some way, right? Or not? What trolling used to mean in terms of
That's
they're obviously
ridiculous.
so
So she's-
ridiculous it must be daft.
So what is she... What
She's
is she
sticking
doing?
her ass in the air, or doing, was it Happy Baby, the yoga pose?
Yeah, so...
Where you lay on your back and you hold your legs up.
Right, that's...
And just pointing it
she'd
to the
have to
sun.
be doing something like that, yeah, because your perineum is... It's... Even if you're naked lying on your front, like, that's covered.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you just... Fucking hell.
Well, let's get into her backstory. Who is she, right? She's
All right,
Megan.
yeah, let's find out who this genius is.
Her name on Instagram is Metaphysical Megan. Mystic Meg was taken. Claims that 30 seconds of sunlight on your asshole is the equivalent of a full day of sunlight with your clothes on.
Is she a doctor? Is she a doctor?
She's an asshole sun doctor. I don't know. That could be true. You could, because it's more exposed flesh. It hasn't got the protection of, say, skin. So it's probably more direct sunlight you're getting because you haven't got the protection against it. But I don't know. Maybe not. Don't point your arsehole towards the sun every day.
It's
And
bollocks.
count to 30.
It's bollocks.
I love that. And again, everyone's searching for answers. That's why there's these things, right?
In their arse.
So they're like, I need more cosmic solar radiation on my arse. That's gonna help with everything. That's gonna put everything together.
Who has told her this?
She probably figured
She
it out
just-
herself.
I just worked it out myself. I did it one day, and suddenly I felt...
Suddenly I fell asleep and I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. She goes on to claim it's actually an ancient Taoist practice. Perineum sunning is an ancient Taoist practice that originated in the Far East. In Taoism, the perineum, or Hui Yin, is called the gate of life and death. Your arsehole's the gate of life.
No, the perineum...
It's the point in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you can't show your arsehole to the sun without seeing the perineum, I guess. Maybe that's the argument she's making.
Yeah.
The gate of life and death. Sorry,
She's got
to
like
give it its
high
full name.
fences.
It's a gateway where energy enters and exits the bodies. Megan believes a few minutes with her arse pointed at the sun gives her almost immediate surges of energy and better sleep. Each to their own. Everyone wants to
Do
be
what
an
you
arsehole
want.
influencer.
Do what you want, but don't pretend that it's got any kind of medical benefit.
You see, that's why I'm surprised that you like Christmas markets, mate. Because that's how I feel about them. It's like, do whatever you want, but don't pretend it's some kind of happy occasion.
I'd like to go to places and eat nice food with my wife. What's
fine.
hard to
Why not
understand
do
about
that outside of a Christmas market?
But why
Do you know what I mean?
does it matter?
That's the difference. That's the difference between yoga and pointing your arsehole at the sun. Do yoga, yes. Explore Taoist practices, sure. But don't try and say that if you're having trouble sleeping, try putting more of the sun up your arse. It's just that different thing. It's like, do whatever you want to do, but just it's the image that they create in their own mind to justify something that doesn't need justifying. It's okay to go to a market and eat food. It's okay to go to a market where there's people singing. But the fact that it's got to be, well, it's Christmas. Where's the snowman?
Well, it's only
the thing
there
that
at
adds to it.
Christmas, though.
Sorry?
It's only there at Christmas.
Well,
we go to other markets.
Yeah. But then why does it have to be a festive thing? Why can't it be like, oh, let's have food? Why does it have to be about the death of Christ? Or the birth of Christ? Forget which one. Why have we got to bring Christ into this? Leave him alone.
I'm not justifying this.
2020, I'll probably stop. In other news, that's the end of the quickfire segment. Now we're into the longer segments. We'll come up with a term for it.
55 minutes.
Oh, it's more dead babies. A paramedic has been fired after suggesting that a woman puts her dead baby in a Tupperware box. Don't tell her to do that. So there's
In order to do what?
Just to carry it around. Like to, I don't know, take it to the dead baby box area. So this might take a bit more explaining by the looks of it.
Yeah.
This probably makes sense. Basically, it's just the paramedic sense of humour wasn't taken very well. It's basically what happens.
It was a joke.
A woman had a No, it wasn't, but...
Oh.
Light-hearted.
Okay.
Don't go get the temporary coffin. You know, it was like, oh, get the Tupperware box. Keep it fresh. So a woman suffered a miscarriage. And I think I'll try and actually I want to find out exactly what it says. An unnamed patient who was under the care of Rosie Maternity Unit in Cambridge had earlier been told she'd lost her baby, but had been sent home and asked to return 48 hours later to deliver the dead baby.
Okay.
So the baby's passed away inside of her, but they need to get it out.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the natural progression of it and deliver the stillborn. I think is basically their plan.
That must be awful.
Seems rough. Like, keep her in hospital. That's the gut reaction, right? It's like, she's obviously suffered a trauma. She's got a corpse inside her now. Remove it. Not just keep it for a couple of days. That's the thing that kind of goes. But hey, I believe they probably know what they're doing. That's probably less traumatic. I don't understand why, but it probably is. But after experiencing contractions and bleeding in that window, she was at home. She called the ambulance. The ambulance party then turned up. They helped her out of her clothes. They had to be careful of... Alright, hang on. I think she's... by judging by this, she's delivered the dead baby. The dead baby... Delivered. Dropped it off. Had the dead baby has since exited her.
Right.
And the paramedics are there. She said, there was a bit of confusion with the clothes I was wearing, so they helped me out of them. Obviously, we had to be careful of our baby, and I was trying not to look or let it fall. So she was giving birth. She was having contractions. That makes sense.
Yeah.
She's in the middle of giving birth. She doesn't want to look at it because not a great thing to look at, delivering your dead baby. During my distress at this, I was horrifically asked if we had anything to put the baby in.
Okay.
Like a Tupperware box or something in your kitchen, and the parents were speechless. Which you go, there's practical reasons why they're doing this.
Yeah.
But I think from the description, they said they giggled nervously. So I think they are being a little bit cheeky about the situation, which is a natural reaction. Alleviates the tension.
Yeah.
Tough crowd.
It's ballsy.
You won't get a tougher crowd than
like
two parents delivering their dead child. That is a tough room, right? So they're obviously trying to alleviate the tension in some way. I can understand why they would.
Yeah.
In trying to disperse the awkward atmosphere, one girl knelt forward to me and say, "Hey, at least it's not poo. We're bored of poo, and red's festive."
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Oh
She
my
said,
god.
At least it's not poo. We are bored of poo. And anyway, red is festive. It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh my god.
It appeared to me that this comment was made in relation to the festivities of Christmas, as this happened in November. The patient also... You just know that I can understand the humour behind it, but it's not the right place.
No. Not at all.
Don't do this live. She said there was inappropriate behaviour when the umbilical cord was cut. She said, the time had now come to cut the dreaded cord, a very significant part of any normal labour and normally celebrated. You can imagine my surprise and shock when the pair of scissors were waved in celebration with a big grin in the direction of my husband, implying that he could do it for them. Would you like to cut the cord?
Who are these people?
Paramedics. Oh god, I think it's great, but it's not good for society. The patient said, hang on, let's get this cut. You don't want all this hanging out of you, do you? Again, something that nurses would say during a traumatic situation to remind you that everything's okay, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That kind of chat. You will get rid of this. You don't want this hanging around, do you? Let's get rid of this. That kind of chat is what it feels like. The patient said at one point, Banbridge, which I think is the paramedic, said, I don't know what to do. Going on to tell the tribunal, it was terrifying to hear that in a situation like this. I don't know who Banbridge is then. I thought that would have been the... Miss Banbridge then resigned the following month and moved to Australia. Which is a good way of dealing with those problems, I think. Fuck you, you got no sense of humour. Go to Australia.
These cunts do.
Where's your Tupperware?
Jesus.
I think he was great in loads of situations, but it's definitely horrific in that situation.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can do much to escape horrifying images in that situation.
That feels written. Like, it
Yeah.
feels like out of a... That doesn't seem like something that real people would do.
But that's what makes it better.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, of course people do these ridiculous things. And just most of the time, people don't mind. People go along with it.
Yeah, but not...
It would be tough to find the funny in their situation.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, good on them for trying. They lost their jobs. Or shit, at least one person lost their job at least. Yeah. I mean, could have just been a cheery... Some people don't react well to a cheery face. You know? Trying to cheer everyone up. I know I sometimes have that. It's like, can you stop being nice to me? I went on... there was a website that was the Facebook ad that popped up that I was actually a little bit interested in. It was like bulk buy sugar-free sparkling waters. I was like, oh, that could be quite cool if I bought a bulk of them, if it was cheaper. I look at it, I go on their Facebook page, I just get prompted with loads of messages from the company as I'm trying to get to their website to see the prices.
Yeah.
And I just had to, can you fuck off, please? Like, what do you mean? It's like, I'm trying to get to your website. Would you like help getting to a website? No, I want you to stop stopping me from getting to your website. Just leave me alone. I'm not in the mood for this sales talk right now.
Yeah.
I'll either buy it or I won't. But exactly decided upon the price. Oh, you're too expensive. Okay, no.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I can understand not being in the mood for customer service or kind of cheeriness. You know, it's a weird... I think this could have all been avoided if they just treated the sick woman when she was in hospital. Instead of sending her back to deliver a stillborn.
Yeah.
Seems like a strange prescription.
So they sent her home to deliver it?
They sent her home and said, come back in 48 hours.
Right.
And that's when you'll probably go into labour.
Right.
And that'll be the easiest way. Well, I guess that's a point, right? It's much safer to deliver a dead baby than to risk of operation. Just because all operations carry risks.
All operations are risky.
And, you know, labours can carry a risk, but I'm assuming because of this, they carry less of a risk than surgery. So there's some logic in there. It's just pretty horrific that this really happens. Lastly, from me, in the factual sense, you know, Russia. Russia. Previously, we spoke about them because they had the world's leading space technology during the space race.
Okay, yeah.
They were just scientifically ahead, and it scared the hell out of America. They're keeping up the trend now.
All right.
Their cows are in virtual reality.
What?
Their cows are now on another plane of existence. They're giving cows virtual reality goggles.
We've run out of fields, so yeah.
Just to make them happier. So they've given them virtual
suppose a cow
worlds.
doesn't know the fucking difference, does it?
Well, they must on some level, right? I mean, they must have different senses.
They must know something's up.
It's only visual, maybe audio.
This is weird.
But like, there'll be wind blowing. Maybe they can get away with that. But there'll be smells that they can't smell, textures that they can't feel.
What have you got to simulate? You've got to simulate grass.
Yeah, basically.
Trees.
They go into...
you can do it. If Universal Studios can do it, Russia can do it.
Russian dairy farmers can definitely do it. They're creating a unique summer field simulation program based on studies that cows are better at perceiving shades of red than green. So it's fields of blood that they're showing these cows. These cows are having a great time.
Finally, I feel like I'm home.
Oh, we've massacred everything. Now I can be happy and produce more milk. The impact of VR glasses on milk production will be demonstrated by further comprehensive study. So it's ongoing. I feel like it'd be good to keep up to date on what these cows are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting their games from somewhere.
Oh, but I want to know more.
Yeah. I mean, and it kind of makes sense, right? It's it's that whole kind of kids wearing turned up jeans and working on laptops on beanbags.
Yeah.
That's happening in the corporate world. Whereas in the, what's the word for?
Bovine?
Like farming.
Agricultural
world, the cows are now in a virtual reality. Imagine.
Yeah.
And chicken in a virtual reality. What did you put? Fish. Is fish agriculture? Must be. It's a big thing during Brexit. Aquatic.
What's a fish farm? Is that agricultural?
Must be. It's not fucking mechanical.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's not fish car. But yeah, it makes sense. And it just feels like it probably wasn't designed. They didn't make virtual reality in the first place for cows. But it feels like, yeah, it's the way everything's going.
If it means the cows are happier, I've got no problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't got a problem with it anyway.
Milk.
But like,
it made them unhappy.
I think if it makes them happier, it's quite cool. Because I've seen those videos of cows being let out after winter, and they're all just they're all just like jumping about and flying all over the place, like just really happy to be outside. And it's like there's part of it that's like, well, it's kind of necessary to keep you inside because it's very cold. And you're not necessarily built for this climate or this weather or whatever. Like you have to, you have to be inside. You can't. We can't manage you in this weather. Like with the number of you that there are, we just got to shut you away. So it makes sense. But on the other hand, you would rather they were just happy all the time.
But it also, you kind of feel that it's okay to do this to a cow because you can outrun a cow.
I'm not sure I can.
I could outrun a cow. I could defeat a cow.
Well, I'm thinking about bulls. Like, I couldn't outrun a bull.
Yeah, but they've got bigger legs, haven't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a dairy cow. Maybe you could outrun a dairy cow, yeah.
But you could defeat it in battle. And I think that if they decided to attack...
Sure.
I could definitely. That's going to be my feat of strength, is murdering a cow.
2020.
I've tried to figure out my loyalties, because strength and loyalty. I've been trying to embrace my loyalty, by getting all the nectar cards I could possibly get. I was trying to think of a way to test my strength, and I thought, well, I don't know. I'll put it to you. I'm not being arrogant or egotistical, but if we were to fight each other, that feels like that wouldn't be that enjoyable for you.
No, like, I'm not...
As in, even if I was losing, I still have a good time.
Yeah.
But I think this... You don't like it when I make fun of your USB cable. If I punched you in the neck...
No, I think
wrestled you to the ground.
At the end of the day, as far as strength and stuff goes, like I came to accept that, like, most of the time I'll be outmatched in strength by anybody that's bigger than me, really. Right. And if they reach their absolute potential and I reach my absolute potential, the chances are they will still always be stronger than me, just because of the fact that they're bigger, if nothing else.
Weights,
it's like I was talking to like a guy at work, and I was just like, that's kind of why I like running, because there's a certain point with running where it doesn't matter how big or small you are, it's just a matter of mentality. Like there's situations where where one person will perform better than another because of their biology, but if it comes to like outrunning each other as far as survival goes, like it feels more like a mental game at that point.
I reckon you have the same with strength in terms of like weightlifting, for example.
I always felt like there's more of a
I've never been one of those really into it, pushing the boundaries.
I always felt like there's much more of a physical wall as far as weights. Like with running, I can do 10 times better on one day than I can the day before, just because of my attitude.
But it's the weird... there is definitely a strange mental thing that goes with weights. I think self-preservation. If you bench press 80 kilograms and you think it's 10, it will be much, much easier.
Yeah.
Just if you do it by accident, or if you just mentally think that it's lighter, it will be lighter. Yeah. Whereas if it's heavier, your body...
There'll certainly be things you can put yourself into, but at the end, like, there's definitely going to be things that you cannot do at all unless you train for it. Yeah.
And I've hit the walls and that with running and run through them, and that's this great feeling. Yeah. And I haven't necessarily had that with weights, but I've never really been that. I've never been a weight lifter. As in, I've done lots of weights, but it's usually just for the exercise. Yeah. I've never been like, I need to lift this much, and I'm working towards it. Yeah. Whereas I have had that with running. It was like, I'm running, and I'd like to stop running when I get home. Not a quarter of the way there, not a quarter of the way before. Yeah. It's been like, no, I need to push myself to make it all the way through. Yeah. So I don't think I'll beat you in a fight, but I think I could run away from you pretty well. That could be a test. 2020. Can Nick get a bloodthirst strong enough to outrun Steve? But yeah, virtual reality goggles on a cow doesn't seem very threatening. No. Because I think most people could just deal with a cow. Yeah. If it was on like a horse, I think there's just a little bit more nervousness. And then, strangely enough, if you put it on a wasp, can you imagine how terrified you'd be of a wasp in virtual reality?
Yeah.
That's so much more threatening than a horse.
Just a tiny little headset.
Yeah, and it's just seeing what it wants to see. And it's so motivated.
Yeah.
That it's like fucking killing everyone.
Oh.
The smaller and the more agile, I think, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is the more terrifying it is when you remove their eyes and their ears from our reality and give them their own.
Yeah.
Seems disturbing.
Yeah. But at the same time, I could take out a wasp. Even if it stung me, it wouldn't kill me.
Yeah, but a
if
motivated
a horse gets
wasp?
one hit on me, I'm dead. Like, dead.
Yeah, but a motivated wasp that's living in another dimension.
It's only got so much poison. It's going to run out.
It'd be so happy with its current surroundings, it could, like, summon more wasp. I like wasp being the plural of wasp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 7 wasp. It's just a great word.
Behold the wasp.
Yeah. You could put virtual reality goggles on a train and no one will give a shit.
No.
What's a train's ideal world? Darkness.
Yeah, maybe it likes the tunnels. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Russia's got virtual reality cows now.
Decent. I'd like to see that expand across the other animals.
Chickens. Yeah.
A chicken in a headset is a weird idea.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know where to look. You'd be so trapped. There's nothing you could do. Even Rocky Balboa could barely catch one chicken. Yeah. Right. Can you imagine a chicken Rocky Balboa chasing you? Watching Rocky? Fucking... All is lost! All is lost! It's a terrifying world. On to you.
Terrifying. Terrifying indeed.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
Camping is often seen as a good opportunity as any to pitch a tent and get smashed. Unfortunately, most animals in Britain are fairly dull and very anti-party. In America, the partiest camping animal is probably a bear. But in Australia, the partiest of all camping party animals is the pig. Pig! In Port Hedland, Australia, a group of campers awoke in the night to find their stash of piss-weak beer-flavoured convict water had been raided by a party pig, who had downed 18 cans by the time they woke up, before smashing up the nearby bins, starting a fight with a cow. Which
he's got some virtual reality goggles. Knocked him.
Cows are not known partiers. And then passing out under a tree. While some may argue that you can't party too hard, upon waking up with a hangover bigger than Rolf Harris's Toys R Us receipts, the pig unfortunately continued to party in the road where he was hit by a truck.
Gotta keep it going. I'm still young, man.
Yeah.
Smash.
Party pig. Didn't have a name. But, yeah.
Didn't have a name, but he drank a lot. Got pretty smashed.
Yeah. 18 cans of beer. Fight with a cow.
It's the word fight, I think. It implies it stood up on its hind legs. Throwing jabs, shoving it into the road. Cow's like, leave me alone, man. Just stepped out the virtual world for a bit of fresh air.
If Bigfoot is the holy grail of America's mythical creatures, then this poor fucker is a participation ribbon at a how much stupid bullshit can we cram into one country contest. I'm talking, of course, about the squonk.
Is it the half horse, half zebra?
No.
Okay, the squonk.
The squonk is said to roam the countryside of Pennsylvania, covered in warts and blemishes caused by its ill-fitting skin. Skin doesn't fit. Just not quite right.
Oh, I've got the wrong size.
It's thought, in fact, to be so ugly that you can often track it by the sound of it weeping. But but if you corner it, it apparently gets so pathetically upset about how ugly and pointless it is that it dissolves in a pool of its own tears. The squonk.
It self-immolates. Oh, no. What's the point?
Yeah.
I didn't get that job at that new corporate headquarters down in London. Wasn't pretty enough.
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
I hadn't heard of that one. I'd known like the Bigfoot and the Chupacabra and stuff like that, but yeah. The
Not just
squonk.
an ugly, suicidal,
Just
crying animal.
Just ugly, crying, really upset, and when you corner it, it literally bursts into tears.
And it's like a mythical creature, is it? It's like
Mythical in the same way that Bigfoot is mythical. It's of myth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, somebody thought they heard their sister like crying and killing herself in the street, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's some kind of mythical beast.
It's just the squonk.
My name's Susan. Shut up, squonk. Oh, like the Meg of mythical times.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Isaac Davis was the world's cleverest moron. In 1798, Davis and an accomplice pulled the perfect heist, robbing a bank in Pennsylvania for $160,000, which is about $3 million
Right, nowadays.
modern day, without leaving any trace and pinning the blame on local blacksmith Patrick Lyon. Lyon was imprisoned for 3 months, even after it was proven that he didn't rob the bank. Not sure why.
Just been there for a little
leave
bit.
him there.
Yeah.
But Isaac, the world's smartest dumbass Davis, was soon caught, however, when he tried to deposit the money into his own account at the same bank that he robbed. As a side note, the falsely accused Patrick Lyon wrote a best-selling book about his false imprisonment entitled Narrative of Patrick Lyon, who suffered 3 months severe imprisonment in Philadelphia jail on merely a vague suspicion of being concerned in a robbery of a bank of Pennsylvania, with his remarks therein. It was a bestseller. It was a bestseller. He sued the state and got like $12,000, which they said was $240,000 like modern day, and made shit tons of money off the book. And the only reason anybody knows about any of it is because after he won all the money, he had an oil painting commissioned of himself, like as a blacksmith, just a lowly blacksmith, not a rich man or anything. And then he told the story of this bank robbery and this fucking moron that like, well, the thing is, when I read it, I just read the initial headline and I got the image in my mind of a guy that walked up to a teller with a mask on, put the gun in them, and took the money, and then went to the next window, took the mask off and gave the money back.
Basically what happened. Here's $160,000. Well, we lost that yesterday. How quaint.
Yeah, not my problem.
I'd like it, please.
Yeah, well, this is my money. Yeah. And he didn't come up with any story or anything about how he got all the money. He was just like, this'll be fine.
I've got the wrong change.
Yeah.
At the bar.
Like, dude, you're a carpenter. Like, you haven't got this money lying around.
Yeah, just keep it in a box.
Yeah.
You probably make a box, right? Put that box somewhere. There you go.
Yeah. But this was it said this was the first reported bank robbery in the US. Which I would have assumed the first bank robbery in the US would have been like a hold-up situation, not like a heist. Not like a get in, get out, nobody notices kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
I would have thought like robbed at gunpoint, like Western stuff.
Mm.
But apparently not. And finally, evocation. Evocation was a devastating ritual commonly enacted by the Roman military, in which they would demoralize their enemy by summoning whatever god they worshipped, tempting it over to the Roman side by offering it a cult and promising to worship it better.
That feels real English. I don't know why. What god do you believe in? Agatha? Well, we love Agatha.
Yeah.
Here, Agatha, why don't you come over here? Well, we've got pineapples over here. Do you like pineapples, Agatha? Oh, no. Agatha loves pineapple.
And there's like cultist sites in Rome and across their country of all these gods of these other people that they've tempted away.
Glory of Rome, I guess.
We'll worship your god better than you ever did.
You'll be dead. Okay.
Yeah. And it was done so I said it was done to demoralise them. I guess in modern day terms it is, but it was done so because the Romans were just as superstitious. It was done so they wouldn't have the protection of their gods. Like, we've got your god now, so it can't protect you.
Got your god. Powerful thing though. I think, belief.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. So if you can take it away from somebody, definitely do it.
Yeah.
if you want to destroy them, if you want to help them, don't take away their belief.
No. Leave that. That's me this week.
Nice. Yeah. Productive week. Hospitals, eye drops.
Yep.
Customer service.
Party pigs.
Dead babies. It's pretty good.
There was a lot of baby death.
There was a lot of it. I left out some as well. Like, there was a lot. I noticed it when I was doing it, but I only realised as I was reading it out.
This is a
lot more.
Yeah, the paramedic thing was a bit hard for me to get through. That was yeah.
Well, I think he's got to space it out, right? Last week I opened with a baby was used as a human shield and got shot 11 times.
For some reason,
whatever it was,
that was so outrageous that it didn't freak me out.
You were freaked at the beginning. You're like, oh, what? Why? Why? I think it was just opening with that was a bit like, whoa. But I'd rather have that paramedic. As tragic and horrific as the situation is.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. You can't escape that.
But also, I think you have to kind of accept you would love that paramedic, but you are like one in 1,000 people who
special.
would.
Yeah, I'd like the person who's either having a terrible time at their job or is just going against the grain and just doing whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Rather than someone who's being all cheery, smiley-eyed. Let's get that dead baby out of you. What's she meant to say? There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's not the professional way to go about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the worst way.
No.
Read your audience. 2020.
All right.
So I'm at Nick Snip.
At Sing It Steve.
We're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pulling Teeth Podcast, or you can... No, Pulling Teeth Pod? Pulling Teeth Podcast on Facebook. Yeah. You can drop us an email at wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah, we're also on the YouTubes.
Subscribe and stuff.
See what we look
what
like.
they tell you to say in it.
Yeah. And
subscribe, watch shit. There's highlights and stuff going up there every week. Even so, if you don't want to watch a full thing, then Nick will pick the bits that he likes. Just
put stuff up.
See if
you like it.
Yeah.
And the website, I think you said.
pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah, at the moment it's very basic, but I want to try and start doing actual stuff with it later.
If you want to catch a video a day early, are we doing that?
Yeah,
or are we not?
I'm still working out because YouTube's being weird.
All right.
But the easiest thing might start releasing the YouTube videos a day early.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier.
All right. Well, if you want the podcast a day early, jump on YouTube.
Be on the YouTube.
YouTube's out on Tuesdays then. Podcast ordinarily out on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
There'll
be a time or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Well, that's us this week.
Yeah.
165.
Cool.
See you next week.
See ya.